afternoon once again, and welcome to Capuchin TV, especially to this program, taking care of your psycho-spiritual well-being. Today we'll be looking at one special program as we are approaching the time of Christmas. We'll be talking about the Christmas and health. My name is Reverend Father Dr. Joyce Pius Egunjobi, and I'm the one hosting this program. So again, well, like I said, Christmas is drawing close, and of course it goes with a lot of things. And we need to begin to think about how we take care of our health during this Christmas. We know that the Christmas is a time of joy, is a time of sharing, is a time of connecting with families and friends. And of course, it's a time when we also open up our minds and hearts to God Almighty to enter, because when we talk about Christmas, we're talking about Christ coming into our world. Like John chapter 1 verse 14 says, and the word became flesh and he dwelled among us. So receiving God into our hearts is a good thing, is a great thing, is a joyful thing, is a time of sharing and everything. However, we need to be more careful at the same time so that we know exactly what is going on. Of course, it is a time of gratitude and of time of celebration. Celebration when we eat, when we drink, when we marry, when we celebrate with our families and friends. Sometimes also is a time when we actually travel all around to see families and friends. And of course, it's a time we really want again to dispose ourselves to being, in the presence of God. Don't forget that. Don't let the food and drink take away everything. So, while this one is so full of joy and happiness and gratitude, it could also be a time of challenges. Challenges in terms of things we want to do at the time of Christmas. You want to think about buying clothes and shoes. I know many times you see children crying, daddy, mommy, I want to buy a new shoe, Christmas shoe or Christmas clothes or Christmas dress. And all those kind of a thing can be there. It could be times, like I said earlier, a lot of travels and then the road becomes so congested and there are a lot of challenges out there because of the more people are on the road, the more chances people have to have a head-on collision or one kind of accident or the other. We pray that it doesn't happen to you, doesn't happen to anyone. And of course, it's a time when also you find a lot of times when families and friends makes a lot of demands. You want to give a Christmas gift to your in-laws, to your parents, to your friends, to your boss at work, to your colleagues, and to many other people all around. We want to do that. So there are a lot of demands and in terms of that, or maybe what we call assumed obligation. You feel that you are obligated to actually do all those things. If you don't do it, you feel like something is missing. Of course, some people just give cards, Christmas cards, but people do more than that. When you think about how many people you want to give gifts to, that becomes so challenging. And of course, it's a time you also want to belong. You want to belong to do what other people do. You want to go to where they go. You want to eat what people eat, even when the doctor have told you not to eat that. You still want to do that. You want to drink. Maybe you have never even tasted alcohol before, but because you want to belong, you want to be part of your friends, the peer pressure is there, then you start drinking. And so a lot of challenges that are there, and from drinking, you get drunk, from eating, you get you overeat and gluttony, you do a lot of things, kind of a thing. It has its own challenges. That sometimes even instead of you want to go to church to go and worship, you may find yourself unable to do because either you're unable to meet up with this these demands, or because you are too full of the food and drink, and then you can't really serve God better. But you don't have to get caught up in all this. you don't have to. Again, we are saying this. It's a week to Christmas, and we need to remind ourselves about that so that as we are preparing for Christmas, as we are preparing for this jolly moment or this happy moment, we need to be more careful as to what exactly we need to do to make the Christmas really Christ-full, Christ-filled, and that you begin to take care of you and your health, that the Christmas eating and drinking and moving around is not causing you things that you are not really looking for or you did not bargain for. You don't want to find yourself in the hospital because you are celebrating Christmas and you have engaged in risky behaviors as to get into that level. So taking care of your health can be looked at in the different ways during this Christmas. You can talk about it again, like the model of this program is the biopsychosocial techno-spiritual. So we'll be looking at that taking care of your health during this Christmas. First of all, we talk about taking care of your physical health. Then we talk about taking care of your psychological health. We talk about social interaction, social health. We talk about your technological health. You'll be asking me what that means. Of course, by the time you have been following this program, you should know by now what exactly that means. And then you'll be talking about spiritual health. So doing all these things, it is very important. First of all is as you are preparing for the Christmas that is just coming next week, we have to take care of our physical health. And our physical health begins from even your normal hygiene. Don't forget that coronavirus is around, and I tell people it's not going anywhere. It's still around. We just have to know how to deal with it. But then, they're taking care of your physical health during this period. We talk about, social distancing. I like to correct that. There is not really social distancing, it's called physical distancing, because we still have to interact. So you cannot say we are keeping social distancing, but the physical distancing is to avoid transmission. So all the keeping and the physical distance on the hand washing, using your face mask. Don't forget. Don't let the Christmas joy take you away. You can make it very, very good in such a way that you can put on a very nice dress and make a mask that looks like that dress. It becomes part of the dress, and it'll be fun. So take care of that. Wash your hands as you need to wash again. Use your face mask. Then again, as you begin to prepare for the Christmas, always begin to also think about what are you going to prepare, what are you going to eat, and what are you going to be drinking, because remember the program we have here the other time where we say you become what you eat. And of course, not everything that you eat that is actually very healthy for you. So you don't want to begin to prepare things. Maybe doctor have told you to stay away from some things. You need to be mindful of all those things. Or maybe you have been told not to drink particular kind of beverages or alcohol or whichever way it is. Then you need also to be careful at this time so that you don't just say because you are celebrating Christ, you are causing harm and danger to yourself. And of course, as you are celebrating Christmas, don't forget to take a walk. Don't just sit in one place. It's a time of celebration. Of course, you can be caught up with just sitting with families and friends, and you don't, you eat, and everything is just there. Try and find a little time to walk around, to exercise, to engage yourself, healthy behavior that can actually make you very, you feel well within your body. And of course, don't forget to take enough rest. I know it's a time of cooking, of different things for families and friends. You are running helter-skelter around to take care of this and take care of that and to satisfy this person and to, So, especially women at this time when you really want to act the mother of the house and to want to make sure everybody is fine, please take enough rest. Don't overwhelm yourself with so much that you have to do that you don't take rest. So take good care of your physical health. Also, psychologically, you can begin to talk about, you need to be aware of the Christmas anxiety, that, there are anxiety that is attached to Christmas, especially meeting up with the demands of the families and friends or maybe at work. And of course, trying to, satisfy everybody, and trying to cook for them, and you are not thinking about you don't have enough money. So the thought of about how will I take care of this situation can be so overwhelming that it can give you so much anxiety, and which is not good for your mental health. And of course, don't also be caught up in the Christmas depression, because others are buying clothes, you don't have money to buy one. People are cooking food for families, you have no money to do that. Actually, around money issue or satisfying the material things, that could be a very great challenge also that can cause you depression. So that instead of being happy, you are actually down. So don't caught up with that. And one way you have to stop that is to stop all these irrational beliefs that you may have about Christmas. Remember, Christmas is not about food and drink and about wearing clothes. It's about celebrating the presence of Christ in your life. So don't forget that. So don't let the beliefs that you have to do certain things overwhelm you. Only do what you are able to do. And throughout this period, watch your emotions, so that you can either look for support and whichever way to regulate your emotion in such a way that you are not too up there being anxious or not too down, being depressed, but to be happy and be stable. It is a time of joy. It's a time of sharing. So just be free to do all those things as you ought to be. Of course, it's a time of you need to take care of socialization in such a way that you don't want to be isolated. Try and visit families and friends if you can. But if you know it's going to constitute another problem for you, you don't have to, so that you don't say, because I have to, you put yourself in danger. No. So be able to regulate your life in such a way that when you are visiting families and friends, it's not a burden on you, but it's something you are doing freely and joyfully. Remember, it's a time of joy. And try to reconcile. Is there anybody around at this time that you are not in good relationship with? Come on, call the person. It's Christmas time, and share the Christmas joy by saying, hello, it's me. I know you don't want to hear me, but I'm here just wishing you Merry Christmas. So begin to prepare to think as we're getting closer to Christmas. Think about people that you are not in good relationship with, and try to, to level the hill and the mountains that have been that have been built up by your the disagreement and the different things in your relationship. And try at this time also not just to be contented with yourself alone in your house, in your family. Try and engage with people who are actually having what we call community service. Going out to help in the grocery where they are giving food to the hungry and helping the poor in different ways, or, packaging boxes to give to children in the orphanage and whatever. So try and do all those things. And of course, what you have to do, what you have to buy, what you have to eat, what you have to drink, and you forget about Christ himself. Remember, the kingdom of God is not about food and drink, but about righteousness, peace, and joy in the Holy Spirit. And that's why you need to be more conscious about that. So thank you very much once again. I'll be here on the eve of Christmas also to have a good discussion with us on how, again, we need to deal with the Christmas. We're going to be going on break right now, and then we continue from there when we come back.
Kipaimara ni sakramenti yenye kumpa Mkristo Roho Mtakatifu na ukamilifu wa mapaji yake 7, kumfanya Mkristo mkamilifu na kumfanya shahidi hodari wa Yesu Kristo mpaka kufa.
Kupata Kipaimara kama skiza tuni yako, tuma neno skiza likifuatwa na nambari 738100272 kwa 811.
The Psychospiritual Therapy Institute, which we of the Luke Stera Leadership Foundation, in collaboration with Miss Joachim, have set up, is a project that I am very excited about, and I am very happy that I am part of the birthing of this project. It is aimed at healing of pastoral agents that run into problem on account of widespread trauma, on account of burnout, on account of addictions, and all kinds of problems that pastoral agents do have. But with this project of the Psychospiritual Institute, we shall now be training experts in psychospiritual therapy who will be available in various countries, various dioceses and congregations to help their colleagues who are in difficult life situations of an emotional and psychological nature.
Welcome back once again to Capuchin TV and to this program, taking care of your psycho-spiritual well-being. My name once again is Joyce Pius Egunjobi, Reverend Father, and we've been talking about how to take care of our health in such a way that we spend this Christmas in a very joyful, happy, and joyous way. And of course, we have talked about different things we need to do that, despite that the fact we know that Christmas time is a time of joy, is a time of, gratitude to God, is a time of celebration. We need to be mindful again, just a little recap about, what we do, because there are a lot of challenges that is, in this period, about the traveling, the family demands, and then you wanted to belong to people. The peer pressure will be very high at this time, so we need to be aware of them. But we don't have to be caught up in all these things. So we need to, again, take care of ourselves in a biopsychosocial techno-spiritually, And we have talked about, what we need to do to take care of our body, especially with Corona that is around. We also talked about taking care about our mind and our emotions at this time, especially not to be caught up with the Christmas anxiety and Christmas depression. At this time, of course, not to begin to think that you want to be like others, to avoid irrational beliefs or irrational thoughts that could actually get us to begin to act irrationally. And of course, we talked about you need to visit the family and friends, and of course to reconcile with those you need to reconcile with during this Christmas. It's part of a socialization to avoid loneliness, isolation, mingle with people, and most especially, helping the poor at this time. And while helping the poor also, you can, if you can't do it on your own, you can join the community that are doing it. There are many churches that will be extending the hands of charity to the underprivileged, the widow, to the orphans, nursing home and everywhere. So you can join them, volunteer and begin to help them to package whatever they want to package to support the community at this time. So that is what we talked about before we went on a break. But let us look at it again. How are you, looking at me right now, how are you preparing for your own Christmas? How am I preparing for my own Christmas? What are the things that I really want to do? So when you begin to think about that, what you are going to do is just next week. And I know a lot of times the roads are getting busier right now because people are thinking about what to do. So what do you want to do? Before you begin to think about what you're going to do, ask yourself, what do you have to celebrate with? What do you have to celebrate with? So when you begin to think about what you have to celebrate with, it helps you to know how to manage the situation, the environment, and then, of course, the festive period in general. Like I said earlier, you don't have to be like others. You don't have to say, I want to be like this person or like that person because my friend bought this kind of a dress, so I want to buy the same kind of a dress. Or you want to say, because my friend was able to buy this kind of a shoe, or it is a Christmas time, my friend just bought a new car, so I also want to buy, and you don't have the means. You are not your friend. You are you. I repeat, you are not your friend. You are you. And don't let anybody put unnecessary pressure on you at this time. Remember, Christmas is not all about the physical things. All the physical things are just kind of a vanity. And many times they actually add more to our problems because you overeat, you overdrink, you do whatever. They begin to cause you some kind of physical problems that you don't really want to experience. And you don't want to having hangover at the Christmas day. Or you don't want to get into drugs or whatever on the Christmas day. No, you want to let that time be time of joy, that everyone around you can also share the joy, and then everyone can be proud of you, you can be proud of yourself, and of course, God can be proud of you during this Christmas. Before we ended, I said, don't forget that Christmas is the reason for the season. And so while you are celebrating, put that at the back of your mind. What Christ wants from you is for you to be healthy, to celebrate with a sound mind and sound body and sound spirit. I repeat, to celebrate with sound mind, sound body, and sound spirit, so that when you do everything, you have no regret, and you will not be saying, "Oh, I have spent too much," or "I have overspent." Because you are trying to satisfy human beings and trying to satisfy what actually does not add value to you. Again, it's Christmas, and I just said earlier that you don't have to take Christ out of the Christmas. You can even write the word again. You see, it's Christmas, the first word, and the first 5 letters there is a Christ. So you don't take it out of the Christmas. And when you have to do it, it means that everything you have to do it to the glory of God. Again, it's a time that is so challenging. It's so challenging. And one of those things that actually make it very, very challenging for us is the fact that we want to become another person. We want to do beyond and above what our strength, our energy, our means can carry. So again, watch out for what you have. Do you have what it takes to celebrate the way you want? Answer can be yes and can also be no. If it is yes, good. But still, do it mindfully. Do it mindfully. If it is no, then don't try to force yourself to do what you cannot do. If in your financial status, you can only buy a piece of mandazi, if that is what you can buy to celebrate Christmas, so be it. But do it with joy. Celebrate with your one mandazi with joy. And if you can buy a lot of mayamachoma, if that is what your money can catch, go ahead and do it. But don't go beyond your means, and don't try to be another person. Otherwise, you can find yourself breaking down financially, breaking down emotionally, breaking down, even spiritually. Because when you are hungry and you are angry, you may not serve God well. And when you're hungry and you're angry, you may not even relate with your brothers and sisters well. When you're hungry and you're angry, you may not even treat yourself well. So to take care of your health, your holistic health, you need to first be in touch with yourself, to know what you are able to do, what you are not able to do, and of course, celebrate as such. But should you find yourself still having health challenges at this time, maybe physical health or psychological help, do not hesitate to actually seek help. Meet with your doctor or your psychologist or your therapist to know actually what you need to do so that you can have a fulfilled and a fruitful Christmas. It is a Christmas time. We need to spend it healthy. So once again, what we have been talking about is just taking care of our health at this time. Take a walk where you have to. Take a rest. when you have to. Women in particular, I want to tell you about that. When you are getting too busy running around trying to take care of others, don't forget to take care of yourself. Don't forget to take care of you. Because if you break down, the ceremony will continue. And for men, those are married men, fathers in the house, that you want to provide because you see yourself as a provider. And then your wife is saying, I need this. Your children are shouting, we need this, and kind of a thing. And you don't have that much. You want to stress yourself. Can't you just call your family together and let them see the reason for the season and where we need to celebrate in the way just we are without actually going into debt? And that's another thing you need to look at, because that can break you down too. Do not borrow any money from anyone to celebrate Christmas. That is not the will of God for you. Do not borrow anything or any money or anything from anyone. Live according to what you have. So, this program we're having again, taking care of your psycho-spiritual well-being. And it is Christmas next week, and you don't want to miss it, and I don't want to miss it. But I want to go into that Christmas healthy, and so shall you also go into that Christmas healthy. And you need to stay healthy in your body. You need to stay healthy in your mind. You need to stay healthy in the way you relate with people, healthy choices and the not risky behaviors. You need to stay healthy in your connection to the divine. And of course, you need to stay healthy in the way you use your phone or your technology during this Christmas. Don't let your phone and the things that on your social media take you away from your family at this time. It's a time of family reunion, and they do everything to stay together. When you are eating together, don't stop playing with the phone. Let the phone be. Relate with people that you can see. So I wish you Merry Christmas in advance. It's just next week, and see you on the Christmas Eve day. Bye-bye.